Cloudy skies and occasional rain greeted the players on the final day, which was brightened by the presence of two amateurs in the last group, Minjee Lee, the new Australian amateur champion, and the tournament title holder at Oakland's Lydia Ko. The third member of the group made an early statement at the second, Carolyn Headwall, easing ahead with a 5-metre putt. The 23-year-old Swede was enjoying the damp conditions, much more like home. Christy Smith started 3 from the lead, but the putter was only occasionally on song. She had a closing 71. Stacey Keating maintained her solid form, producing a 3-under round, and the Victorian was headed for a 5th placing. 4 birdies and a bogey, and she'll be one to watch in the coming weeks. 5 birdies through 6 holes had the leaders looking over their shoulders at Jessica Speechley. She eventually finished 9th at 6 under. It was a strong contribution from the young West Australians, with Whitney Hillier also finishing inside the top dozen. Round of the day belonged to Emma de Groot, who charged up the leaderboard with a 66, and it was inches from being a shot better. Even so, it earned her a share of 6th. Equal first-round leader Bree Arthur made an important birdie at the last as it secured outright 4th. Laura Davies managed an eagle each day at 3 different holes, this one at the 4th, but the popular Brit finished just outside the top 10. Sarah Jane Smith started the day at 6 under and expected to make a move, but slid back through the field with a 73. The last group had it between them though, with Ko and Headwall reaching the 14th, tied at 11 under, and the last 5 holes would tell the story. The Kiwi teenager fired one in close. The fans were being treated to some superb target golf. Headwall from 85 metres wasn't to be outdone. It might be index 1 on the course, but the softer greens were making it vulnerable. Her experience was coming to the fore down the stretch. And Headwall gave the slippery 10-footer just enough. And Ko answered as she needed to, joining her rival at 12 under. So nothing separating them as we pick it up with Headwall in trouble, coming down the par 5 15th and in deep conference with sister and caddy Jacqueline. The challenge here is the overhanging branch, and Headwall still some 100 metres out. A few swing thoughts as she approaches this one. Keeps it low, but there is a dip and a rise before the green here at 15, and she can't quite make it up the hill. So the door looks open for Lydia Ko, who's had a more conventional path down the 15th. From 80 metres, should be able to put it close. Looks a little short though, and may have let Headwall off the hook, depending on what the Swede can do next. So here's the chip facing Carolyn. Pins at the back. Pace of the green getting harder to judge. Nips it nicely. Oh, but it's running through. And that's a little further from the hole than she'd like. Jacqueline, the caddy, joining her for the first time. She was pushing her own bag for the first 2 days. Now Ko would really like this one to find the bottom of the cup and put some pressure on Headwall. Not quite enough. Pace of the green maybe fooling Lydia on that occasion. But Ko safely in for the par, and Headwall needs this next putt to stay with the defending champion. Reverse grip. Oh, and she sinks a really important putt. They'll go to 16, locked together. And scrambled one there. All right, 16th tee. And Coe's drilled one up the middle here. She'll only have about 50 or 60 metres in. That rain's getting heavier. Headwall. Crowd likes it, and she's split the fairway as well. And they'll have a similar distance in. Sister and caddy, happy. So Coe has a very solid short game. It's a raised green here. Bunkers at the front. Little check of the yardage. Can't be any more than 50, 55 metres. Wedge in. The trees to the left there present some overhanging branches, but they won't be a problem for this shot for Lydia. Just a matter of making good contact. Should be able to get it on. Oh, it might be a bit fat. And she's found the bunker. Well, that's a rare mistake. And I think that's the first bunker she's found all week. Headwall now. Just put it in the middle of the green. And it will be advantage to the Swede. And she's done it. She can't quite see where it's finished, but she knows it's thereabouts. Now we're looking for a ruling here, and I would believe it's because we've got water in this bunk, a lot of rain, and Lydia Coe has asked for an official to judge whether that's lateral water. And there's agreement about it, so she's going to get a drop here. So she's getting quite clear instructions about where it can be dropped. The trouble with wet sand and a drop in a bunker, of course, is that you often end up with a plugged lie in any event. So from a wet lie to potentially a semi-plugged one. And that's indeed what she's got, but she'll have to play it from there. As the rules official says, you're in play now. So Coe playing a third at 16. Oh, she's not going to be happy with that. She only just got out. So is this the tournament right here? Headwall for birdie. From about 5 metres. Oh, so she hasn't quite slammed the door on Lydia Coe yet, but that looks to be a fairly straightforward 18-inch putt for par, and she doesn't miss those. But it's across to Coe now. And Coe needs a little bit of magic to stay in it. And magical it is. Somehow she's scrambled a par at 16. Almost embarrassed, I think, after fluffing the bunker shot. But a perfect chip. And she walks off with a 4. And Headwall almost certain to do the same, but in rather different fashion. So to 17 they go, still 12 under. Coe on the tee at 17. Hart must be racing after that par at 16. Oh, she's pulled that left into the trees, and she's only ended up about 100 metres in front of the tee. Lucky to be on the fairway, but she hasn't taken it very far. And this putt up on the 17th green needed to keep pace with Headwell. Par putt on its way and lips out. Advantage Headwell with one hole to play. And the head drops once more for Lydia Coe. To the 18th, one more solid swing needed from Carolyn Headwell, and the title could be hers. Doesn't look unhappy with it. It's certainly on a good line. Oh, it's a great shot. 110 metres this final hole, up the hill towards the clubhouse. Not a lot of par threes to close a course, but certainly the case here at Oatlands. And the chances fading for a successful defence for Lydia Coe. This must be close. Nice easy swing. A little left of the flag. And it's got to be a very confident Carolyn Headwell and Sister Jacqueline as they make their way up this slight incline to the 18th green. And her experience, I think, has really made a little bit of a difference over the last couple of holes. Under pressure, Lydia Coe's made a mistake or two. Headwell's kept her cool. A good gallery here around the 18th, really appreciating what they've seen. Pressure golf, quality golf. And Headwell looks to have one hand on the trophy. Coe must birdie here to maybe have a chance of a playoff. Oh, gave that a good run. She almost never leaves them short. Doesn't on this occasion either, but on the high side. Taps in for the par. And Headwell has got 2 putts for the win. The 2011 champion. Only needs one and rolls in the birdie. She is the Bingley Samsung New South Wales Open champion for a second time, having won in 2011, and pushes Lydia Coe into the runner-up position also for a second time, with Mingji Lee, another amateur, in 3rd place.
Yeah, I mean, it was just unbelievable, to be honest. I mean, I hold a really important putt on number 15, and then Lydia went ahead and chipped it in for par on 16. I didn't really expect anything else, though, because that's what you have to expect from good players, but it was amazing. And then she pulled the driver a little bit on the 17th and didn't manage to make a par there, but it was still a really good finish, and she really battled. And but I mean, it's always nice to come out with a win. Yeah.